One take, one shot, SmackDown review. This is the review series in which I do it all in one take, one shot. Gotta hurry because Worlds Collide is up and I want to go stream that as well. Maybe I'll even do a review tonight because I don't sleep. But I do give away belts. This belt I'll give away at 20,000 subscribers. All you gotta do is comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification. I yawned 5 times. I yawned 5 times, and this was a very mid SmackDown. It wasn't like really bad. It wasn't really good, but I will say the main event was pretty sweet, and it had an ending. We gave about 20 minutes, a solid 20 minutes to Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre. It was a decent main event. I wouldn't say it was like old school, but it did kind of throw back where we didn't have a lot of flips, we didn't have a lot of grandeur, but it worked still. It worked. Just 2 main top guys just going to town, 2 heavyweights duking it out. Randy Orton poked him in the eye one time, thought that was hilarious, and there was this cool sequence where Drew, he was able to Claymored Randy, and then Randy rolled out, and then Drew went out for him. Randy got in, Drew got in, and RKO'd. Boom, and then Drew rolls out. That then set up pretty much the end sequence where when Drew gets back in, draping DDT, and then Randy tease the punt kick. I felt like the punt kick tease was not necessary. It feels like the punt kick should be teased for really heated rivalries. And yeah, Randy says I don't like him, but it didn't feel like it was like this rivalry's at the boiling point right now. Maybe it was for SummerSlam when he was beating up his best friend that was never explained Jelly Roll, but right now doesn't kind of feel like it was warranted. That said, the referee got in the way. It was like, Drew, you can't do that. Randy, you can't do that. And then Randy pushes him out of the way, or like gently like nudges him kind of sort of aggressively out of the way, and then boom, Claymore kick, 1, 2, 3. Then Drew McIntyre, Drew McIntyre throws Randy out, puts him at the announce table where he teases that he's going to Claymore kick him into the table just like he did Cody Rhodes. I'm going to tell you, you can watch my live stream. I called it throughout the night. I knew that Cody was going to appear, and lo and behold, Cody appeared. Tracksuit and all. He means business. He comes out. He beats up Drew for a minute and says, Drew McIntyre, the champ is back. Like, the champ is back. Where were you, Cody? I'm a firm believer that they should have just given the belt to Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, and then at WrestlePalooza had Cody beat Drew for it, because it's like, I just think it's uncalled for that Cody's been gone pretty much since the night after SummerSlam. That said, here we are, Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes, because he says, I'll see you at WrestlePalooza. I don't care who you are and how you say it. You can't say WrestlePalooza, and sound menacing. Palooza. See? You just can't do it. Let me make sure my audio's on. My audio is on. That's cool. That's woo. Gotta get to watching Dominic Mysterio, the greatest luchador of all time, become the AAA champion. There was a segment also in this that Dom and Rey Mysterio, they kind of confronted each other, and Dom's like, if I win tonight, you put the belt around my waist, and Rey said he would, and he's like, get out of here, son. Dominic Mysterio calling his dad son. Hilarious. But yeah, so back to Randy and Drew. That was the end of the show. That was your main event segment. So now let's rewind to the beginning of the show and get ourselves to the end. There wasn't much more to SmackDown than that. The first 40 minutes was almost like last week's first 40 minutes, but just not as exciting. Instead of John Cena, we got Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar comes out. He says, did he say anything? I'm not sure if he said anything, but then R-Truth came out. Actually, excuse me, not R-Truth. Ron Cena came out. He should have came out with the whole gear, the Ron Cena gear that he wore at Saturday's main event. Unfortunately, he did not. He did come. He was rapping his way out. When he gets there, Brock Lesnar tells him to shut up. He's like, "Who are you?" They had a moment in 2020, right before the Royal Rumble, where R-Truth actually made Brock Lesnar break character, where he said he was going to throw Paul Heyman over the top rope, and then when Paul Heyman was like, "Not me, I'm not in the Royal Rumble, but Brock is," and then R-Truth was like, "Well, then I'm officially taking myself out of the Rumble." Brock cracked, and he has wanted to work with R-Truth ever since. So tonight, I guess, was the night, the payoff of that 2020 segment, and he did kind of make R-Truth did kind of make Brock laugh, but the chemistry, it was not as good as it was in 2020, and maybe that's because there was no Paul Heyman. Brock Lesnar, I don't think he's like horrible on the microphone, but he's definitely not as good as some other people. And it was just kind of like, how many times are you going to ask R-Truth, so you're John Cena's brother? You're his brother? Older brother? Younger brother? Same mother? Different father? It was like, whatever. When it was all said and done, though, we had a good laugh with Ron Cena. That's what R-Truth said he was, and that he was the younger brother of John Cena. And then there was an F5, and Brock Lesnar, he tore his pants, and that kind of made Brock Lesnar then become human, almost. Like, a lot of the heat was gone because Brock Lesnar just kind of forgot where he was, and he was supposed to be a heel, and then he was just kind of laughing at his pants ripping, and he was showing the crowd and stuff. And so, yeah, eventually Brock Lesnar just became too human for this segment. It didn't ruin anything, but it did kind of kill the heat of beating up R-Truth, the pants being ripped, and he walks away. Even to the camera, he's like, "I ripped my pants." So, yeah, I don't know what to say about that, but yeah, no John Cena, R-Truth in his stead. And R-Truth, though, did have a funny line also. He said, "Yeah, John Cena went crazy, made a kid cry. And this John Cena that you're about to fight is the most powerful version. He has the hustle, he has the loyalty, he has the respect, and he has 2 tears from that kid." So that was hilarious. Could you imagine? 2 tears from a kid was the missing ingredient to beating Brock Lesnar. They will also have a Brock Lesnar John Cena promo, like a retrospect later in the night. It was about 10 minutes long, and it was actually really, really good. And what was cool about it was they showcased their first decade, the 2002 to 2010 segment of their careers. So the beginning stages, plus their time in OVW being what NXT is now, but back then, and not so polished. And then next week we'll have 2010 moving forward, probably when Brock Lesnar comes back for Extreme Rules. But I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. They did a great job there. The R-Truth segment was whatever. Then we have Super Sammy. Super Sammy has a banger of a match with Rey Fenix. We got to push Rey Fenix, man. We got to push Rey Fenix. I know that Penta has more charisma, but Rey Fenix is so good. He literally could be the next Rey Mysterio with the moves he does. He is just so smooth, so good, so amazing. Love it. Unfortunately, he did lose. I did not think there was in any way, shape, or form that Rey Fenix was going to beat Sammy on the second week of the U.S. Challenge. Now, here's the thing. Next week, he's fighting Carmelo Hayes, and that sucks for me. I'm glad that Carmelo Hayes is going to get a really good match, probably 30 minutes, because the Sammy match ended at around the 8:40, 8:45 mark, so Carmelo Hayes is going to really get a showcase, but unfortunately, I don't see him winning the third week into Sami Zayn's U.S. Challenge. I see Sammy holding it past a rematch with Solo Sikoa, because Solo Sikoa has announced through a vignette that he's mad. He gave up. He sacrificed so much that he wants his title back. And so that was cool that we saw Solo still just like he's kind of in the mix still with his MFTs. And so yeah, that's happening, but I just don't see Sammy losing. And I wish Carmelo was challenging him at week 6 and not week 3. But oh well, what are you going to do? That did cause conflict with Carmelo Hayes and Miz, because Miz was like, dude, I went to Nick Aldis and I wanted a tag team match, but he said you already had a match lined up and it's the U.S. title? And Melo's like, dude, I'm just trying to follow in your footsteps, you know? I'll take the U.S. title, be tag champ like you did at one time. And Miz is like, all right. And they kind of like, you know, they fist bump it out, and then that was pretty much it. Uncle Howdy might have been in the background. I couldn't tell. Someone was in the background. Uncle Howdy did have a promo, though. He had a promo where he was speaking. He actually even said, follow the buzzards. So maybe Uncle Howdy is starting to become Bray Wyatt-esque more so than not. But what was interesting in this promo was he let Eric Rowan speak, and Eric Rowan did the talking. Now, Eric Rowan doesn't have the, I don't know, he's not as, like, psychotic as Bray and or Bo, so it definitely was a little out of place, but it's still kind of cool that Bo is letting, Uncle Howdy is letting others speak. And it was mainly directed at the Profits and them breaking up. And throughout the week, the Profits have been teasing it. Dawkins have been posting stuff like, maybe it's time, on his Twitter/X. So I'm thinking with this promo, it's either one of two things are going to happen. They're kind of faking us out, and they're going to come back and show that their bond is stronger than ever, and they will win the titles from the Wyatts, or Dawkins is going to throw Montez Ford through some plate glass window at the barber shop. That's a callback to the Rockers, and yeah. So then what else did we have? Sami Zayn beat Ray Phoenix, and what I was saying though is I want Carmelo Hayes to be the next U.S. champion, so I would love for him to be the week 6, because I think there's more of a chance for him to win at week 6, but he's not winning next week, and that is sad. Teardrops. Although if they do break up the Street Profits, what if Montez Ford actually swooped in and won the U.S. Challenge? That would be a statement. That would be quite a statement of leaving your tag team partner and becoming a singles champion. We have a segment then with B-Fab. B-Fab is like, she's like kind of talking to the Street Profits actually, but then Julia, and I'm blanking at her name right now, I do apologize, but they come to her and they kind of say, let's go have a match later. As the match is about to begin, big jumper, B-Fab gets destroyed, they beat her up, they're about to, like, I don't know what it is, like, it's not a curb stomp, but you hold the arms and then you just stomp, kind of like their head into the ground, but then Meacham comes running out with a kendo stick, and, hey, my name's Ken, hey, kendo stick, then maybe I can make a shirt out of that somehow, some way, but I prefer you call me Chop. Anyways, she runs them off, so it looks like Meacham and her never-ending quest to become U.S. champ is still going on. We need to call some people up. from NXT desperately, and we will then have Aleister Black. He tells Damian Priest in a promo, I can be the sickness or I can be the cure. I'm going to make sure that you accept your true nature and become violent like me. Isn't that Miro's or Rusev's gimmick over there on Raw? He wants to show people that they need to stop being weak. So Aleister Black is doing it better. And I'm liking Aleister Black better than Rusev right now, but at the end of the day, I think it's the same gimmick. They're just trying to unlock the beast within the person that they're feuding with. So, I don't know. Then Tiffany versus Jade. Don't know why Jade is a number 1 contender for the title right now. She lost at SummerSlam fair and square. Yeah, it was a foot on the rope and you made a mistake, but so there was no cheating involved. The mistake was yours to make, and you could be like, well, Ray Phoenix doesn't deserve to have the U.S. title shot, so same thing. No, it's not. Sammy has put an open challenge saying, I will take on all comers, while Tiffany does not have an open challenge out, and they're just saying that Jade is the number 1 contender. Now, here's the thing. Nobody else should be number 1 contender either, because they've done absolutely nothing with the women's division. So I will say that. They should have just beefed up Chelsea Green, and Chelsea Green would have been a great challenger for just one WPLE. You know, just make Chelsea Green the challenger for WrestlePalooza and then move on. And at that point, maybe Jade and Nia could have feuded. The winner of that feud could have then been the challenger, a number one contender for Tiffany. But that's not how they did it. Chelsea's still waiting in line to get a shot at the tag titles with the Secret Hermits. I don't know where Piper Niven was, so hopefully she's okay. But we have Tiffany versus Jade. Jade botched a little bit. And dear God help us all if Jade Cargill doesn't do everything 100% perfect, because boy howdy, everybody's going to call her out. But I see botches from everybody else. And it's like, oh, well, you know, they're humans. Let them blah, blah, blah. It's like, geez Louise. But I will say this. There were some botches, and we need to have house shows. Now, I do have a video that I don't know if I'm going to release. When I'm going to release it, it's about how greedy WWE is, and I talk about how by getting rid of house shows, you've gotten rid of the ability for wrestlers to practice, to hone their craft. You can perform 10 moves perfectly when nobody's watching, but what do you do when 15,000 people in the arena are watching, and then 1 million at home? Then you botch. Can you recover? So we need house shows back. And I think that is a direct result. All these botches happening are a direct result. But yes, they recovered. It was a decent enough match. It ends on a double count out. Hate double count out. She spears Jade, spears Tiffany through the barricade. 10 count, and then Nia attacks. So it looks like that's what's our WrestlePalooza. See, can't sound menacing when I say Palooza. That's probably going to be a triple threat. Nia, Jade, Tiffany. Hopefully, Jade pins Nia. That way we can get the belt off Tiffany. They want to keep her strong. Fine, whatever. I don't care. I don't want Nia as champion again. Not because I don't like Nia. I love Nia. I just want her out of the title picture for a minute. And I think Tiffany's title reign has sucked. Basically, I think it has sucked. It was good for 1 week when she went off script against Charlotte Flair. Woo! So hopefully we can just move on with our lives and let Jade see what Jade can do with it. What else we got here? I think that's it, actually. Yeah, no, that's it. Mellow challenges Sammy. That is it. Because next up is then we have the video package. We have Dom calling Ray his son. Already talked about it. We go to Randy and Drew McIntyre, which will end up with Cody Rhodes. So, boys and girls, that's my one take, one shot SmackDown review. I am now going to go watch AAA, their Worlds Collide. We're going to stream that. We're gonna do hot takes tomorrow. We're gonna do a review for AAA. We're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going until the wheels fall off, or I can quit the day job and give away this belt right here to one of you beautiful people out there in YouTube land. I appreciate ya, boys, girls. Have yourselves a great day. Oh, how many chops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I'll give it 6 chops, but if you want to give it a 5, go for it. If you want to give it a 7, go for it. You want to give it a 33.5? Go for it. Have a good day.